Star Wars A New Hope returns to theaters for its 50th anniversary in the near future, and now we have some huge news, potentially the best Star Wars news we've had in years. Let's get into it.
Echo 3, Echo 7. Autopilot 3. Echo Station 3PA.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Echo Base Network. Star Wars A New Hope, the 50th anniversary of the greatest film franchise in all of entertainment history. That anniversary is coming up. The Big 5-0, something that I grew up with, we all grew up with. It's the reason that we started this channel way back in the day. So we got some big news, and it's tied to this. Disney came out with, or Star Wars rather, came out with this news bit over on their website. Star Wars A New Hope returns to theaters for the 50th anniversary. Now, we covered this when this first dropped. Now, we weren't sure, hang on a second, is this going to be the actual re-release of the original film, or is this going to be the special edition? Very similar to what they did with Return of the Jedi's 40th anniversary. So the article here on April 30th, 2027 will celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars with the re-release of the 1977 classic back for a limited time in theaters everywhere. Part of Lucasfilm's year-long 50th anniversary celebration, Star Wars A New Hope will play in theaters over the May the 4th holiday, also known as Star Wars Day. So you, Risman, were around the internet doing your thing today, and you stumbled across some images that had been leaked. And we're not going to be able to show these images out of fear of copyright. At the end of our video today, we will tell you exactly where you could go to see these images that we are going to describe to you in detail. Risman, tell us what this is looking like.
So earlier today, there, as you mentioned, what got distributed via Reddit was somebody had put together a collection of grabs of images that appear to be clips of the result of some of the work that's ongoing from a original trilogy restoration perspective. And I'm saying original trilogy because the article here has been talking very specifically about Star Wars, or now known as A New Hope. But these images also show work being done on both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
All three of these, by the way, we know have already, based upon the special editions, they already have 4K masters. They're out and about. They're on Disney Plus. For those of us who have Disney Plus, they're out there on physical media, and so now I think this lends some credibility to the fact that, and if you read it per the letter of that article, it does say the 1977
release
theatrical classic. I mean, it does
not say special edition.
Yeah.
If it's the special edition, that came out in 97.
Yes.
So that would not be a 50th anniversary. So here's what Risman just said, guys. And Nick, I want you to respond to this as an old OG Star Wars fan, like we all are. What we're saying is it looks like we have some definitive proof that they are getting prepared to release the original spruced up, unaltered trilogy. I say unaltered trilogy. It's shot for shot the original. They're just going to make it look better. No extra scenes, no additions, no special edition, no destroying Jabba's palace or anything like that. We're getting the originals, kind of like what would be a 1080p version of it, is what I would say. So, Nick, your reaction to that?
Yeah, so, I mean, fans have been wanting this for a long time. I mean, fans even came out and did the 4K 77 remasters that a lot of them put together that you can go out there and get. But yeah, I mean, that's you brought up a good point. You know, if it was the special edition, that is not the 50th anniversary.
Mm-mm.
You know, and that was one of the things one of the decisions of George's I did not like. I did not like a lot of what he did with the special edition. And if he was going to do that, he should have kept the originals unaltered, also for the people that wanted to keep those and watch those versions, because those are the only versions I watch. So this is awesome news. And then we heard KK went over. I guess what was it, over to London to see a copy of original copy.
Right.
Maybe the whole reason she went over there was to verify it and to be like, hey, can we use this? So because we
Yeah.
are
Why
going to be
wouldn't she?
doing a restoration, for the 50th anniversary, and there's not a whole lot of copies out there, or
Well,
whatever.
and here's an interesting thing, Nick. She could have prevented them from showing that had she wanted to.
Probably.
I mean, they can't show Star Wars, an original cut of the movie, without her permission. They own it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yep.
that to me, that is really promising. Now, George Lucas stated he would not re-release the original unaltered versions of Star Wars, and that he considered the special editions to be the definitive versions of his films. He famously said in 2004, the other movie, talking about the original, it's on VHS if anybody wants it. I'm not going to spend. And then he said, we're talking millions of dollars, the money and the time to refurbish that, because to me, it doesn't really exist anymore. Well, the fans want the original version. I was born in 79. I didn't get a chance to see the original unaltered Star Wars as it was in the movie theater.
Same.
My
Yeah.
first go round was 1997 special edition. So for me, it would be magical to go back to a movie theater and be able to watch the actual original Star Wars there. Give me the trilogy, make it available on a 4K set, whatever you want to do. And I'm telling you guys, in the world of entertainment today, if they released the original unaltered Star Wars trilogy, it would destroy everything else that's in the movie theater right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think that's just the perfect question, Coach, right? Because the announcement they made here was very specifically to Star Wars: A New Hope, where it's a bit of a question mark, right? What are they going to do for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? Are they going to put them all in the theater? Is it just going to be Star Wars, and the rest of them are going to be made available in other platforms or through other distribution methods? And I don't know. I mean, personally, I'd love to see them all in the theater. I mean, I love, they've done these marathons in a very limited way before. Again, of course, they're not the original theatrical cuts, but every time they do those, it's things that I would love to go to, but they're shown in so few places. That's why this article makes it a point to say, this is going to be a very, very wide release.
Right.
And I also think that, some of the comments George made in regards to what would it take to do the restoration are from a point in time now so far in the past, putting aside AI for a moment and how they may or may not use that here, the methods and how they could do a restoration, I believe today compared to then, it's far less costly. They have ways to do it. You mentioned BFI. BFI are experts at doing this. They're the ones that had that showing of their original, cut there of New Hope that the KK went over to legitimize it, I think, primarily because it got some press, right? We weren't the only ones. I mean, it got wide press saying, is this a no-no? Can they do this? And she was there, I think, on Nick's point for two reasons. Number one, to legitimize it, if you will, and say this is not a rogue showing. And then I think behind the scenes, given some of the collateral that seems to be with these screen grabs, they're using many different sources, I think, to try and get the best restoration they can for these different for the different parts of it, that what is available, what isn't available. Especially, I would imagine, for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, maybe they don't have such a great copy as they do for the original Star Wars. So I think they're using a lot of different sources to make this extra special. And I think for me personally, I feel like I've seen at least Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, the original theatrical cuts. Again, I'm a little bit older than you guys, but I feel like Star Wars came out also at some point in my childhood while those other ones were screening. So I do feel like I've seen them all.
Back out. They put it back in the theater.
Sometime in the
early
80s, I feel like I've seen them all.
They did.
But it's been so long ago. I just want to see. I just want my Yub Nub back. I mean, I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a few things that I really miss, and a lot of it, you know what I mean? And if they could just give me some of that stuff back. The Jabba's palace you mentioned, and
Jabba's
some of those
Palace, the
things.
Death Star attack. Like I like
Yeah.
the original. The second one looks great, but all the little silliness and goofiness that they added. You know, the Han and the Greedo and everything. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. Not even going to do that. Now, what's interesting is that before the sale to Disney, the unfortunate sale to Disney, Lucas had stated that the project to redo the original films, to restore them, that they were about halfway done,
Mm.
and then he abandoned it completely and didn't spend another penny on it. So it will be interesting to me to see if when he sold Star Wars, they got that too. So
Yep.
are they going to pick up where Lucas had left off? That was about halfway done, restoring the original trilogy. I really do hope so. I wonder what George Lucas's take will be on that. He also said something that he said that the original versions of the film would fade from existence over time, and that hundreds of years from now, the only version of the movie that anyone will ever remember will be the DVD version. The special edition is what he means. So I'm
Yeah.
a fan of the originals. Bring it to me. This was actually something that I think would be really good for Star Wars.
And I was just checking to see. So Star Wars Celebration is April the 1st through the 4th. So 2027. So Star Wars Celebration will have already occurred before, because this article mentioned the end of April into May the 4th, which is something they didn't do for Revenge of the Sith, which I thought was the dumbest thing ever, right? They took it out of the theater again days before, literally like 2 days before May the 4th, even though we all know it's a made up thing. There is something to it for a lot of people.
At this point, there is.
But so I'm very curious to see on your point. I would expect George Lucas to make an appearance at Star Wars God willing, make an appearance at Star Wars Celebration in April 2027. What they do or don't show regarding these there is one thing, but I would have to believe in some way they've at least got his tacit blessing, right? Otherwise, he'll get up there and he'll be like, I don't know, it wasn't my idea. You know, George. George says George things sometimes.
Right. Nick, your final thoughts on the original, unaltered, real Star Wars, if you will.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to go to the theater and check it out. The one thing I'm curious about is if they are going to do the original theatrical cut where it didn't say Episode 4: A New Hope, or if they're going to throw that in there. I hope that it's the original where it does not say Episode 4: A New Hope.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's it.
Just Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I completely agree. So give me all of that every day. So, guys, that's going to do it for us. Let us know in the comments what you think. You could see in our description, we have posted the link over to Reddit where you could go see these images that we are talking about with this Star Wars restoration project. And until next time, guys, we are UR Echo Base Network. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.